I hope you've been following the entire series on how to use retinoids in your skincare and how to get a schedule around them, what is the best practices, what you can't do and what you can do. This is the last of the series. In this one, I'm going to be only talking about Tretinoin. Tretinoin, as you should know by now, if you don't, I'll give you a quick recap, is a tretinoin acid and which comes at the topmost among all the vitamin A's, as you can see over here. Tretinoin has the backing of science and is the gold standard for anti-aging and is one of the best things that you can include in your skincare if you have problems of pigmentation, acne scars or even acne. Typically, tretinoin should be prescribed to you only by a dermatologist. So this particular cream called the Retino A is a tretinoin cream. There are some other companies that also make this, but what you're looking for is the word tretinoin. Now, how is tretinoin different from all the retinol serums? The retinol serums have esters of the retinoids as listed over here. Now, these serums are made by skincare brands and obviously they can't give you the experience of redness, inflammation. Aap use nahi karoge usko, right? So these particular serums or the esters of retinoids have other ingredients in them like glycerine, they might have hydrators, they might have good emollients in them, so that while the retinoid or the retinol serum is working for you, there's also good hydration and there's also good moisture on your skin. So therefore you don't get the same kind of side effects that tretinoin acid will do. But of course, that means that the efficacy or the results that you're going to get from a retinol serum as compared to tretinoin are going to be very, very different. The tretinoin acid or the Retin-A, I'm going to be referring this to Retin-A in the rest of the video, it's just easier for everybody. So Retin-A, when we look at the ingredient list, has just one or two things around it just to make it comfortable enough for you to be using it on your skin. It doesn't have the humectants and the hydrators or the emollients in it. So therefore, the dosage you get on your skin is far higher as compared to a retinol serum. In this video, we are only talking about tretinoic acid. So I'm just going to stay with this particular acid. If you want to understand whether you should use retinol or Retin-A serum, please make sure you have a look at the other videos. They're going to be listed in the description box. Those are very detailed on how you can make a choice between a serum and a tretinoin acid. Now moving on to Retin-A. So Retin-A is now coming in 3%, 0.2%, 0.25%, 0.5% in ascending order. So when you're starting, you start with 0.02%, then you migrate to 0.25%, and then you move to 0.05%. Recently, I think about 2 days back, Tushita shared with me that there's also a smaller percentage available at 0.02%, which is great for you if you're beginning, you have very dry skin, you have very sensitive skin. But keep in mind that even at 0.02%, it is going to cause some amount of the side effects of inflammation, of peeling, redness, itchiness, dryness and flaking of that on your skin because it is tretinoin and it's the highest percentage of retinoid. So the effect is going to be less, but it's going to be there. Does not mean that you can use 0.2% more than the first digit of your finger. Doesn't mean that you can use it to start off at 4 times a week. You still have to follow the retinization process. You still have to follow the simple practice of going slow and being patient with it. For more information around this, make sure you have a look at the videos listed in the description box. You'll get a lot more details over here. So moving on to Retin-A. When you have already used 0.02% or 0.25% for some time and you jump to 0.5% or 0.05%, make sure you still go slow when you're introducing a higher percentage because now there's more tretinoin per amount that you're using. So go slow always. Let your skin adjust to it. You really don't lose anything. Tretinoin is not one of those ingredients that you're going to put a whole lot of it on your face and you'll feel, wow, my skin has changed kal raat se. It doesn't work like that at all. So simple and slow and follow the dosage. The new kid on the block is called Retin-A Micro. It comes at 0.04%, 0.06%, 0.08% and 0.01%. The main difference between the micro gel as well as the Retin-A at any percentage is this. Retin-A micro comes with more ingredients in it. So it has the glycerin. Glycerin is a humectant. So it's not going to be as drying on your skin when you start to use it. Along with that, it's got silicones. Silicones will help give you a good texture, a good feel on your skin, and actually slow down the delivery of retinoid to your skin. What does it mean? You will not have the immediate dryness and the immediate inflammation or the itchiness or the peeling that a Retin-A will do, right? The micro will just make sure the delivery is happening slowly, and therefore there is less irritation around it. But that does not mean that you're going to use Retin-A micro immediately 4 times a week or 3 times a week, and it doesn't shorten the process, it just makes the process easier on your skin. So therefore you will still follow the same schedule of introducing it slowly and patiently, like we discussed in the previous video linked over here. Just because it is gentler on your skin and shows less irritation does not mean that you're going to increase the quantity that you're going to use on your skin. So even if you're using a Retin-A micro, or if you're using Retin-A at 0.02%, you will still start with just this much to begin with. So this is what you're starting with in the first week, in the first 4 weeks, in the first 6 weeks, in the first 8 weeks, and then you might look at working up the quantity. But you will work up the quantity only if you have absolutely no irritation or no peeling or no redness. Otherwise, you could be at this quantity for the next 6 to 8 months also. Retin-A is not a product that you're going to be, completely fine just doubling the quantity either. Long process. Like I discussed in my previous video, you can take an aeroplane if you're going from Kanyakumari to Delhi, but we advise that you take the train or you walk. Now, when you start using it, you will see initial amount of redness. You might see a little bit of inflammation, itchiness, dryness. Please don't peel. Please don't pull the skin. Listen to your skin. If you're using it carefully and you start with once a week and you are in no hurry, you're going to take 6 months to work it up to at least 3 times a week, you will really not have as much itching and inflammation as you might be scared of. But at the same time, if your skin starts blistering or if you have like swollen bits of your skin, then maybe you're reacting to Retin-A and it's not for you. There are cases where skin can react to Retin-A and is not meant for you. In such cases, start using peptides, start using ceramides, start using epidermal growth factors. But they're not a replacement for Retin-A, but they're definitely better than using something that's not going to work for your skin. When something doesn't work for your skin, all you're doing by pushing your skin to get used to it is actually increasing inflammation. And when there's more inflammation, you're going to find actually more acne, more wrinkling, and more redness, and also leading to a lot more pigmentation. So we don't want to push the skin at any point in using a retinoid. If you do come to a point where your skin becomes very red, very irritated, step back, stop using Retin-A for some time. Repair your skin, apply good moisturizers. That's all you need to repair your skin, or even Vaseline. Once your skin is repaired, go back to start using it again in a small quantity and again start building up your your Retin-A quantity. Keep in mind the Retin-A does penetrate your skin to much deeper level. That's why it's able to build the collagen and the elastin, which are the building blocks of your skin. And just because you stop using it for 2 to 3 weeks doesn't mean that it's not there in your skin. It is still there, still doing its work. It has helped to improve the skin cell turnover, which is what we want when we want anti-aging, younger skin. So it's also still working on it. Now the question is layering. Layering for Retin-A or Retin-A micro remains the same. It's always good to cleanse your skin, dry your skin